From Chicago's #1 news, ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 6 starts right now.
Tracy is here with the latest on the pollen report this morning. Trace?
So this was yesterday's pollen report. So this is the typical time of year where tree pollen, you may notice some of it on your cars, where it gets higher. And I would imagine when we get today's report from Loyola Medicine, I wouldn't be surprised the tree pollen's in the high category today. When we get into the weed pollen season, things like ragweed, that's typically more later in the summer, July, August. But right now, tree pollen is our biggest issue.
Got it.
Well, did you know that May is Allergy and Asthma Awareness Month? And according to the CDC, more than 25.2 million people in the United States have asthma. And since May is the peak season for asthma and allergy symptoms, we are diving deeper into how to manage spring allergies and asthma this morning.
Dr. Renee Matthews is a doctor, wants to educate others on allergies and asthma. Dr. Matthews, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to have you here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
So what do we need to know, especially this kind of year? And I just watched our political analyst come in, Laura Washington. She's got tears running down her face. It's a hard time of year for a lot of people.
Yes, it's hard because climate change. So the seasons are longer. I'm sure Tracy notices the seasons are longer. The pollen counts are worse because the seasons are longer. But if you can try and go to a doctor to figure out what allergies you have. Allergy shots are amazing. Over-the-counter meds actually do work. And if you come inside, take a shower or bath so you can wash that stuff off of you. And if you have little ones, make sure they do the same, because when you bring it in and then it gets in your clothes and it gets in your bed and you're just, passing it all around, and it's not going to be any relief, because if it's outside, leave it outside.
Right.
And so, and then humidifiers, wonderful thing to use, because it'll help with the allergy symptoms. But really, if you could get to an allergist and figure out what you're allergic to and get some allergy shots, I'm telling you, world of difference.
What does that test look like for somebody who's never done an
allergy test?
Yeah.
So for the for environmental, it's usually skin pricks in your arms usually, and it's not horrible. It's not like a needle, but what they're doing is just putting a little bit of the allergen in you, just enough so that they can see if you have a reaction to it.
And you know what? I actually have had that, and this sounds really weird, but it's kind of fun to see which ones start to
and they right on your arm.
Because it's
right
immediate. It's immediate.
It's
immediate. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, especially if you're allergic, it's really immediate.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, and they only wait like 10 minutes or something. Yeah.
Right. It's a pretty quick response. A lot of folks wonder, do I have allergies or am I sick? How do you know the difference?
So sickness usually lasts for a short amount of time. Allergies can go on for weeks and weeks and weeks if you don't do anything about it. Sickness, you can usually, you can sleep off a cold. You can, you might have body aches. Body aches aren't usually an allergy symptom. Unfortunately, the sneezing can be both things. Right. But really, allergies, it just keeps going and going and going. And oftentimes, like even when I would have allergies, I could function, but I just, felt a little down. But when you're sick, I mean, usually people are just down.
The other thing I want to know is, as an allergy sufferer myself, especially seasonal allergies, I'm allergic to cats, things like that. Do you advise, in your professional opinion, that we take our allergy medications year-round?
So it's up to you if you take them year-round. I think year-round, if you know that you're going to be exposed to the allergen, then those people need to take them year-round. But if you're a seasonal allergen person, my doctor mentioned, and I thought that is a good idea, take them ahead of time. Like, the season's about to change. Yeah. Take it ahead of time so that you can kind of be ready and you'll have a better season, and it has worked.
I've got two things I wanted before we let you go that I want to talk to you about. One, asthma, right? And is this time, thank God, it's one of my blessings. I don't have to deal with either. But for somebody who's dealing with allergies right now, is asthma even more difficult on top of that during this time of year?
Yeah, well, so the thing is that usually if you get exposed to your allergen, then it's going to take you into an asthma attack. So yeah.
Gotcha. And then the other thing, food allergies.
Yes, food allergies.
And so what do we need to know? And is that causing problems for us too, and we might not even know it?
That is true. So the biggest thing is, especially parents, watch your children when you feed them things and see how they react. If someone starts sneezing because they're eating something, that could be a food allergy, and they should go get tested. And the best thing for food allergies is obviously avoid the allergen. And then if you talk to the allergist, there's all sorts of treatments now to actually get the person exposed slowly so that they might not live lifelong with a nut allergy or something like that.
Dr. Renee, you have an event today.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about where it is and when it is.
So Food Allergy Research Education Fair is having a community event tonight at Gage Park Library, and from 4 to 6, and I'll be reading my book, No Renee, You Are Allergic, which is a children's book that's basically my story of my food allergies. And I'll be signing some books and just talking to people about allergies and asthma.
And you know.
Yes, I
Firsthand. And it's become your mission to help others.
Yes. I'm working with Mobile Care Chicago as well as the Allergy and Asthma Network. We were in Capitol Hill last week.
Oh, good.
We spoke to Tammy Duckworth's office, and they seem to be really on board. We had 4 bills that have to do with asthma and allergies, and so I'm really excited. There's been so much research done in the last 10 years, especially in the food allergy space. So much has changed that it's amazing what you can do now. Like I said, people are starting out with a nut allergy and coming out of it.
That's awesome.
With all the
good.
research.
That's really
Yeah.
great, right? Especially for kids.
Yeah.
Doctor, really, really nice to see you. Good to have you. Thank you for waking up and spending some time on the couch with us.
Thank you for having
Really
me.
appreciate it. and
Always
good
good
luck.
to see you.
Thanks.
Thank you.